Yo, what's up guys, welcome to my humble YouTube channel where I bring you fanfiction that will brighten your days. Before we start, a subscribe is greatly appreciated, and don't forget to leave a like and ring the bell icon so you won't miss exciting new fanfiction stories. This is a sequel to Rimuru in Akame ga Kill, Rimuru in DXD by alexkuhar360. Chapter 3. Back to school. Rimuru's POV. After enjoying a fun life for a little while, I got my job at the school. Kuo Academy to be precise. I was ready to get some information about this world from these devils. I decided to wear my black and gray suit I bought earlier as my outfit as I walked quietly to school. Thankfully I can still pass for a guy. Well, kind of. I have a pretty flat appearance, so I do not look too much like a girl. At least if I say I am a boy, people might believe me. As I arrived on campus, I had to admire the very expensive and large campus. It looked more like a college campus than a high school. I guess this place has some serious money behind it. In the email the school sent me, it told me the specifics of what I will be doing and what to expect. I just need to go to the principal's office to pick up my teacher's ID and various other papers. When I was walking towards the principal's office with the help of Raphael, I heard some students talking about my appearance. The things they said are not words I would repeat in public. Most people mistook me for a woman though. I guess I can't blame them now that I have such long hair. It just means I have to clarify the truth. Once I arrived at the place I was supposed to be, I knocked and waited. After a few seconds someone opened the door for me. It seemed it was something like a secretary. When I was let in, I was gestured to a seat in front of a beautiful wooden desk that must have cost an exorbitant amount. Behind it sat a normal-looking office worker. Hello. My name is Rimuru Tempest. I am supposed to be starting today as a new math teacher. The man behind the desk was looking at me with a critical gaze. If I was a normal person, I would definitely feel self-conscious right now. Oh, of course, you just looked younger than I thought you would. Very well, the email should have given you all the basic information you need, but here is that information in print, as well as some more detailed explanations concerning school rules and the recommended curriculum. Here is your teacher ID card. You will need this to enter any non-student areas like supply closets and the teacher's lounge. That should be everything then. Good luck. After handing me a stack of papers, I was quickly led out of the room. Well, that was weird. It is surprising that I literally said one sentence and now I am a teacher at this school. Whatever. I quickly devoured the papers and had Raphael tell me the important things I needed to know as I leisurely walked towards my classroom. Thankfully there was still plenty of time before classes start, so I could get situated. I will be able to get my lesson plans for the day done easily. I am only teaching geometry, trigonometry, and basic statistics, so it will not be very hard. With that done, I was ready to tackle the day as a teacher. It shouldn't be very difficult, right? Well, after my first day I can say that it wasn't difficult per se. More like it was annoying how all the boys were looking at me weirdly and the girls kept looking at me with some kind of proud look, even after I told everyone I was a guy. Teenagers in this world are weird. I will have to learn to ignore their weirdness. Especially a few boys I have in one of my classes. I do not think they believed I was a guy. Throughout the day I noticed a few devils in my classes. There was also the boy that was part devil part dragon. He barely paid attention the entire class. I could also feel other devils in other areas of the school throughout the day. There are a lot more than initially thought. From what I can see, there are two groups of them, one that meets in the outskirts of the campus and one that seems to consist of student council members. While I was observing them, I cannot be sure they did not notice me. Even my distinct hair color could give me away to the devils I saw when I arrived in this world. Well, that dragon boy probably wouldn't notice since he doesn't seem the most observant. I decided that passive observation is the best strategy for now. Once I am discovered, life will get much more complicated in many ways. I am happy to live my more carefree life for as long as possible. One thing I noticed after a few days is that the devils all paid above average attention in class, bearing the part dragon part devil name Issei Hyodo, who paid below average attention. From what I hear, him and his friends are all massive perverts. It makes him pretty disliked by most of the class. However, the other devils seem to think pretty highly of him. As time went on, I was able to determine the leaders of the two groups. One was the student council president, who was strict and cold. The other is a club president of a club that meets out behind the school. Naming it the Occult Research Club is a bit on the nose for a group of devils, but maybe that is the point. Maybe that is some kind of hiding in plain sight. After teaching for a few weeks, Valora got a job at an takoyaki stand and apparently was pretty good at it. To be honest, I was impressed he could hold a job properly with how eccentric he can be. Like I said, he could. He spends all his money on manga and video games. If he is not working, he is reading or playing. Stuff started getting much more interesting when Parents' Day came along. I wasn't sure what to expect from devils since I assumed they didn't have parents, but I was surprised. When the day arrived, Issei's parents came and they seemed to be normal humans. That seemed odd to me, but I couldn't find out anything else. On the other hand, when I was teaching the older students, the leaders of the devil groups had some interesting family members come. The red-haired girl, who was named Rias Gremory, had an older man come. He looked more like an older brother than father though. I could tell that he was very powerful though. Other than Ophis, he is the strongest person I have seen in this world so far. Later that day I saw a woman dressed as a magical girl chasing around the student council president. She also had a very high amount of energy. They were surely very powerful devils. As I listened in on their conversations, I hear how the other devils treated the two older devils with immense respect. They must be some kind of high-level government officials in devil society. I also heard about a meeting that will happen at the school soon. It seems like this school is owned by the devils, so they can hold official meetings here. It seems strange to me to hold important peace meetings in a high school. I guess it is a nice high school though. Since it will be important for information, I will have to sneak into this peace conference. Maybe I could bring Valora as well. I feel like he is the kind of guy who likes a fight. With such strong people in this world, having someone on my side will be very reassuring. Hopefully it doesn't come to fighting though. All I know is that there will be angels, fallen angels, and devils there. I know that there are other groups of people with powers, but it seems like nobody from them will be attending. I also now know that devils have peerages, which are pretty much a group of people arranged like a chessboard with the king being the overall leader. I am still not clear if the people under the king are like employees under a boss or slaves under a master, but from what I have seen it is somewhere in between. Once the school day was over, I went back to talk to Valora about coming to the meeting with me. When I got back to our apartment, I found him reading a manga he bought a few days ago. Hey Valora, in a few days want to come with me to listen in on an important meeting between the devils at the school I teach and some other people? Having Valora join me would make the likelihood of us being found out much greater, but he also offers a unique insight like how he can sense true dragons and similar powerful dragons. He also is a very powerful ally if we are found and fighting ensues. He looked up and gave me a quick look. Will there be fighting? Maybe. I would say 50-50 on if you would have to fight. I would rather not have to fight, but if we are discovered, fighting might be inevitable. Wahaha, I will agree to join you. I can't wait to try some of my new moves out. I call it the Valora killing arts style. All those who oppose me will be annihilated. When he spoke, he stood up and started punching and kicking the air. He is truly hopeless, but at the same time I am happy he is here and I am not alone. Raphael is a great companion, but she is still not a substitute for real interpersonal relationships. Maybe next evolution. Sounds good Valora. Wanna play some Switch now? I'm sure you'll be able to beat me this time if you try hard enough. Ha ha ha, challenge accepted Rimuru. I won't lose again. Stuff is starting to heat up. Hopefully nothing bad happens. The end.